Welcome. In this video, I'm going to look at the basics of auditing in Windows 11. So you are a home user and you have your Windows machine. You may have multiple accounts on that one computer in the home, and you have uh, either your kids with their own accounts and they are accessing the computer. This is a way that you can log um, activities on the system to be able to understand what they are doing on the system. Okay, so the next thing I will look at is how to enable login on your Windows 11 machine, and then how to use what they call the event viewer to be able to monitor and analyze those activities that will occur on the system. So with Windows 11 auditing is your ability using the Windows 11 auditing, you will have the ability to track user activities and system events, and it helps with accountability and to detect potential security incidents on the system. So Windows 11 can log various types of activities. That is, you can log the log on and log off events. That is, a user log into the system and a log off. Access to files or resources on the system, and that will be logged. Privilege escalation. If a standard user elevates their account to do something that an administrator on that system should be doing, it is logged as privilege escalation. And system modification, if some changes were done to the system. Now, logging is very essential because it helps with you meeting compliance. So organizations will conduct logging to meet things like the payment card industry regulation, to comply with that, or HIPAA law for the health sector to comply with that. For investigators, the log can be used to find out what the users did on the system, maybe during an incident or after an incident. So let's start by enabling the log. So to do that, in the search box, you want to type LO and you will see local security policy, and then you're going to click to open that. Now there are a lot of logs in here. You can learn about these. There are a lot of policies in here, and you can learn about these policies by downloading the Microsoft Compliance Toolkit. Okay, so I'm going to look at the advanced audit policy configuration. Just going to grab that, and then I'm going to expand the system audit policy local group policy object. And the first thing I'm going to look at is log on and log off. That's what I'm going to cover. And I'm going to look at the audit log off and the audit log on. So you also want to look at the audit account locked out. I'm going to look at that also. So if I double click on the audit log on and select success and failure, is going to log both of these events. So if you want to learn more about the audit property, you can click on the explain tab and read about what that audit subcategory would do. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to look at is audit log off. So when someone logs off the system, you want to detect things like what time they log off, what date they log off, and then you can use that to investigate the system. The next thing is audit log on. So with audit log on, with account log on rather, you will track authentication events. So yeah, it is not configured. Okay, So if you want to audit other log on events, there's no auditing in here. So I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay. But if you want to track this audit other account log on events, click that and I'll click success. And that will track authentication events. Privileged use. So when you click on privileged use here, you will audit sensitive privileged use. That is, if a user is trying to escalate their privilege by taking on the permission of an administrator, okay, or somebody who has permission to do certain things on the system that they don't have, but most times is associated with admins or someone that have admin rights. Object access. So when you click on object access, this will monitor access to files. If someone access a file, a directory, or other objects on the system, it's gonna log that. So if you look here, audit removable storage. So if you look at this, if this policy allows you to audit user attempts to access file system objects on a removable storage. Okay. If someone wants tamper with a registry, you can audit that also. If you have file sharing on your system and you want to audit it, you can do that. And then audit file system. We'll do that also. Okay. So now let's move along. So another thing we are going to do after we audit, after we enable these auditing subcategories, I'm going to go and launch the event viewer. So to do that, you type EV and the event viewer will appear. And this is your event viewer. You want to look at the Windows logs. And here you're going to be looking at, they have other logging taking place. You have application, setup, when you're setting up the system, and system. Those are things you want to look at. Okay. Let's see what it says about the disk. Driver detected a controller error on the disk. Full. Okay. I'll look at that. But let's go to what I want to cover. And that is security. Right? So now what we're going to do, I'm going to look for the first event. So if you look at the entry in here, you have the level of auditing, the date and time, the source, the event ID, and the tax category. Now, if you want to have a cheat sheet for the event ID, there's this site that I found. In the wrong one. This site. Let me look for the site. This is the site in here. And you will see here that these event ID are MITRE attack technique. If you don't know what MITRE attack technique mapping is the tactics, techniques, and procedure that bad actors use to gain access to the system. So if you look at MITRE attack, and this is the MITRE attack, and this is what they call the MITRE attack metrics. Okay, so this is the mapping he was talking about, and this, you can find this event log cheat sheet at GitHub form, and these are the event ID. So let's look for 1102 in our log and see 1102 is someone cleared the log. May indicate an attacker is attempting to cover their tracks by clearing the security log. So let's look at the event viewer. And I'm going to filter the current log, and the event ID is 1102. Nobody has cleared the log. But before I end this demo, I'm going to clear the log so you'll see the event 1102. So I'm going to clear the filter, and I'm going to go back to the log in there, and I'm going to look for 4624, successful account log on 4624. So I'm going to filter that, and I'm going to go to 4624. Click OK. And you will see that if you scroll all the way down, start from down, you see that service was started. Okay. The logon process. All right, so look here for something. Okay. So these were just normal services. And okay, so that should be okay. Let's look for, almost cleared the log. Let's go back and look for 4625. Let's see what we got for 4625. And I don't have any log off event because I have not logged off the system. Let's look at four 663 or 470 permission change on the object 4670. I think I did something like that. 4670. Let's clear the filter. Let's try 4670. Yeah, and you will see that I made some changes. Scroll down. Chrome. You see my name in there, and it will show you the date and the time. It'll show you the date and the time. Okay. This is very useful, and it'll tell you the program and everything. Now let's look here. I'm gonna clear this filter here, and I'm gonna go back there and look at what else. Let's look at 4663. 4663. I'm not gonna go through all of them. I just trying to show you 4663. And you'll see that it falls under the file, and you'll see that I tamper with this file at 1039. And you see all the times that I tamper with the file. I have access to the file. See, so basically you can investigate once you see the user and you see an object name that was accessed by the user, you can definitely determine that what was he doing with that file. If that file was an important file, especially if the file was collaborating file, you can determine at what time he accessed or he or she accessed the file. So what I recommend is check out this GitHub repository and go through them. Okay. I did not create any new user 46. Let's see 4724 attempt to reset account's password. Let's see that 4724. Let's search for 4724. So there was no attempt to reset the password, and that's really good. All right. Let's see. Next thing is, let's do one more, and then I close this video. There are other ones here that you can basically, that may not be associated with the clients. It might be associated with a server, but these are a whole bunch of event IDs. Okay. And shout out to the person that collected them, because these are very good. Okay. All right. So now that you know how to look at the logs, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this filter and I'm going to clear the log. And when I clear the log, you will see that even 1102, and it will show that the log was cleared by my account and at this time. Okay. So one more thing I want to do is I'm going to go and change the owner of a file and see how it appears in the, so you see how it appears in the event viewer. So I'm going to open the folder explorer. I'm going to go to documents, and this file called SGPT, I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to click show properties, and I'm going to click properties. So basically what I'm doing is I am I'm creating a direct access on this file. So it's going to appear in the log. So I'm going to click on security and click advanced. Now this file is owned by the administrator, the built-in administrator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take ownership of that file. So I'm going to take the ownership. I'm going to put my name in there, and I'm going to take ownership, and I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to go back in there and now assign auditing to users on the system. So who I want to be audited. So I'm going to audit myself, and then I'm going to select students, an account called student. This could be an account, maybe your child's account on your home network. And if I don't want them to modify anything, I just limit it to read, so they can be able to read. And I click OK, and I will click OK. Now I'm going to go into the event viewer, And I'm going to look for something associated with 4663. See what I get something in there. So now the log is showing the last action. So to repopulate it, you can right click and refresh, and it's going to come. So now I'm going to go in here and filter the current log and put in 4663. And you will see that I tampered with this file. Right? Access request information. So I requested read control. So you're seeing that. And you see the date and the time I did it. So you see the file in there, right? So basically, you can go in now and audit people that are using that file. So if the student account logs in and they access that file, I will be able to see the date and time they access the file. So what is the best practices out there? Define what to audit. Not all events need to be tracked. So I would then redirect you to this GitHub repository. Go through it and see the event ID that is mapped to the minor attack techniques by malicious individuals. So if you look at that, you're going to see that. All right. All right. The next thing you want to do is you want to review your logs regularly. And you also want to secure the log because you don't want people to tamper with your logs. In organizations, what they do, they have what they call security information and event management system, SIMP, and they aggregate all the logs to a central location, and it makes it easier for them to run a query on them to be able to extract certain kind of data they want for probably threat intelligence or to know what the adversaries are doing in order to get into the system. So thanks for watching, and remember that Windows 11, once auditing is enabled, you can use the event viewer to track critical system and user activities. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in another video.